Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Enough channel. In this video, we're going to review NRL Fantasy after week 18 of the 2025 NRL season, as well as review Dream Team. So, another Tuesday where I won't be available to record, Team List Tuesday. So, we'll just knock it out now, and we'll be back on Thursday to do all the round previews anyway. So, we'll see all the teams and stuff then. But in terms of fantasy this week, was okay. 637 did see me drop a bit in the ranks, but still in the top 5K. So pretty happy with that. And I think we're in a good enough position this week that, we should be able to maintain that top 5K all the way to the finish line. But in terms of the team this week, we had Jazz Tavanga at hooker. 33 from him was okay. 32 for Josh Curran as well. I thought he'd play bigger minutes with Max King missing, but wasn't to be. Terrell May was good, 73, and was probably our second best captaincy option, so super safe, just an easy one to set and forget. Kalamatangi was good with 55, and so was Tallis Duncan, continues his good form with 55. So Jacob Preston was our trade-in, and on a one-game sample, it was pretty disappointing. We could have gone Eli Katoa and got a few more points, but 29 was okay. Savala and Hughes in the halves were both good with 50 and 56. Unfortunately, not as good as Fino on the bench at 63, so that one hurt a little bit. Karapani was okay with 36. Nwangani Tawase was amazing with 78. James Tedesco was good with a 48. Jed Stewart with just the 19 was better than Pappenhausen, who was a late out. So we ended up with only 12, which sort of, I guess, led to the subpar score. But I think a few other people in around the top ranks might have had the same issue. So in terms of leagues, I don't think there was any matchups this week. Actually, there was one. So Crocodile Dumfries with a 729, thanks to a very similar forward pack, maybe. Joe Tarpany with just a 37. So, Kalamatangi had the edge there, but Kikau and Katoa in the second row. So, again, Katoa cost me 30 points on Preston. Jamal Fogarty was good with 65 in the halves. And then I guess the big difference was at wing fullback. So Lehigh with the 36, Drinkwater with the 62 was the man, and Connor Tracy with the 33 was pretty handy as well. Elsewhere through the league, I'll try and have a look. So, was it 729 there? So I think 759 for the Yorkshire Yowies was the top in this league. So Tristan Hope with the 59, that was a nice play at his cheap price. Terrell May as captain, I think that's pretty standard. Zach Hosking with 65 was good. Played Latu Fino as well, so really backed the Tigers in there. You'd love to see that. And then Tommy Turbo with 64 at the back and Drinkwater. Garrick with the 54, so really good points from the back line there. And left Nafahu wide on the bench, so yeah, left a few points on the table there, but still a great score mark. Let's see if I can try and dig into the league somehow. No, I've got to go back. Yep, so it just says round 17 scores. That's no good for what I want. What about in the Open League? Can we see that? So the retired baller, Liam, scored a 723. So back inside the top 300. So good stuff there. Don't think there's been any real change at the top here. Fatality sitting just outside the top 500. So Schmick Richards might have slid a bit as well, given a similar 664. Yep, so don't know. Yeah, so would have got Nofo White score, but not Duncan's. But could have had a few more on Tarpany there, which would have been handy. And I guess missing a couple of the West guys at the back too. But I guess in terms of potential moves this week, um, just starting to load our best 17 in, albeit it is only best 13 this week. So, um, we do have a few out with Tavanga, Kolomatangi, Duncan, and Stewart. Um, out of those, probably Kolomatangi and the way he's going, Duncan could probably both be kept. Do I have another edge? Not really. So I might just swap Duncan with Curran, bring in Payne Haas, Nathan Cleary. So, it's a tough one there. Maybe Savala sits out this week. Kiraz comes back. Well, actually, Lucas comes back. There we go. And we put Stewart on the bench. And then we've got Donahue, Fino, Savala. So we've got a bit going on in the halves here, which is fine. We've got Karapani and Stewart covering the back. So we are sort of set positionally, but obviously we do have some cash to make some upgrades. Um, but I guess realistically, if we look at potential targets, obviously Farnworth would be nice to have in the centres, but the Lucas, Nwangane, Tuase, Kiraz are all going pretty good. I guess we could use Marky Mark in the wing fullback slots. Hudson Young would be a nice upgrade for Curran in this current team, for example. Um, Katoa as a third half, so we could definitely upgrade a Savala to Katoa. Um, yeah, so I think there's definitely some moves to be made, but I don't think the team we've put on field this week is too bad. The Dogs against the Cowboys, like, yeah, I think if Hudson Young wasn't on the bye, I'd do that move this week, but we might just sit on that for a week. Um, yeah, I don't know. We will probably do the round preview. I might have thought of something, but for now, I'm pretty happy with that the way it is. And I might just slide the VC across to Cleary, but while he's in the form he's in, we'll just keep backing Terrell in as captain. But yeah, in terms of Dream Team, just quickly, 772 for this week, which was good enough for a green arrow, so up 10 spots into 85th overall. So aiming for a top 100 finish here. Just quickly, Terrell Mayer's captain 69 was fantastic. Horsburgh 51's been good. Kyle Matangi was 67. Nafahu White was amazing. Presto and Hubner were a little bit flat. King Toggy with a 9 is pretty gross and might be a bit of a rage trade this week. Karapani and Purdue did enough to hold up the centre spots, but the back line, wing fullback was amazing. Teddy with the 60, Nwangane Tuase with the 87, Garrick with the 65, um, and then Katawa obviously on the bye last week. Just quickly in terms of game day, so no matchups, but Chano with an 814 was top scorer. So he had Drinkwater score of 70 as well. But it was probably more so the likes of, um, Savala with a 59, Kickout with a 50 compared to, Preston's 27 and, Hubner's 26, for example. So just a few extra points there in those differentials. I might just do a really quick look. Top scorer was KO Weeks with 141. That's pretty epic. Um, yeah, Meany with the set 97. He was a lot closer in terms of Supercoach scoring, but nowhere near that monster from KO Weeks. Oh, not that, sorry. I just wanted to quickly do break evens for those that like to get these for free off the vid. So negative 67. So weeks might be one we have to look at next week just as a cash grab potentially. Nick Meaney does have a nice break even, but won't be playing fullback. Tristan Hope has a nice break even on the bubble, but you'd imagine would be playing a bit part role off the bench at best with Appy Coruscant coming back. Um, and then after that, I know Tommy Trbojevic is a as a pod, but another one on the bye this week. Marky Mark, Scott Drinkwater both got nice break evens. Drinkwater at 540 is pretty good value. Um, yeah, nothing too much else there. But in terms of my team this week, I think I'm going to stick to the plan. And I had three trades sort of tossing up. I got rid of one of them, which was basically swapping out Couchman. But I am worried about Hubner and LKT's auto emergency nightmare abilities. So we're going to do the Hubner to Isaiah Yo trade, which we can do in one. But then we're also going to get rid of King Togia and use that money to bring in Tamari Martin, who should be playing halfback for the Warriors and has scored well in the past in that role. So those are the two moves for this week. Four trades left. Obviously, Couchman is going to be one of them, but we don't necessarily need him straight away because we've got pretty decent lineup here. So take out Kalamatangi, bring Cleary on. There, yeah, that's fine. So Nico Hines can go on the bench. We do need to put Farnworth wing fullback because Garrick's on the bye. So we do have to play one of these guys, and I think we'll play Karapani up against the Titans as opposed to Purdue against the Bulldogs. So we've got three. So we still need one more bench player. So it might have to be Martin this week, which is fine. Comfortable enough with playing him. We definitely prefer that over LKT. Obviously, if we've got Origin players not backing up, we may be in a little bit of trouble. But captain, vice captain, well, I guess Terrell May and Cleary would be nice, but they play a bit close together. I guess maybe we go Farnworth. Yeah, Sharks haven't been good defensively, so we'll go Farnworth as the VC into May. Keep it nice and safe in terms of the captaincy this week. And yeah, so I'll just flick back to fantasy because I'm sure that's what most people are here for. And we'll wrap the video up. So if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the NRL Fantasy content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, catch you in the next one.